Hey, my name is Enrique Sanchez, and today I'm gonna show my final project with my portfolio in the class of Administración of Riesgos. First of all, this project is divided in three parts. The first part is with two assets, portfolio with two assets that in my case it's Electra and Cuervo. The second part is with five assets. The ones that I choose was Microchip, TD, Meta, Palantir, and Insulet. And the third part is with value at risk, where we want to see the EPC, the historical data, and the parametric data. For the first part of this activity, we had to calculate the average price of month of each asset. So we can see here we have the average of 12 months with Electra and Cuervo. With this information, we can start getting some important information such as the average, the deviation, the correlation with Cuervo and Electra, and the beta. Well, with this information, we could start creating our efficient frontier. In this case, we had three different ones. First one is the one using the correlation. Second one using the positive, that we change the correlation with a number 1, and the negative that we change that one for a -1, so we can see how it affects our efficient frontier. And with this part, each version teaches a critical concept, that is, when correlation is high, diversification benefits are limited. When correlation is negative, risk can be dramatically reduced. And this illustrates the power of combining assets that move differently, especially in volatile markets. Moving to the second part of the portfolio, we can see that now we have five assets, such as Microchip, TDT, Palantir, Insulet Corp, and Meta. And now you can see how we are calculating now the average price per month and the average return per month. So, what it changed when it's two assets or five assets? Well, the main important difference is that we cannot use just the correlations, just like we did in the last two assets. Now we have to use the matrix. So with this, we have to do two matrix. First one is matrix with variance and covariance, and with that ones, now we do the correlation matrix, such as the previous part, when we just had a simple formula to get the correlation. Now we had to do two different matrices just to get that information. And looking with that information, we can see now how we can make the different scenarios for our portfolio. We have like the normal weight, the minimum risk, and the max risk. With this information, we can see how, as an investor, we can diversify our investings and choose the specific way we want to work with. Like if we want a higher return in our portfolio, including a max risk, or if we want not such a big return but protect our risk. And now with the last part of the portfolio, we move to the historical and parametric value at risk. This final section of the project is focused principally on the risk quantification through the value at risk methodology. For this, first we had to download the daily EPC index data just to represent the Mexican Stock Exchange benchmark. And with the first scenario, we can know that with a 95% of confidence level, we know that 5 out of 100 months we have a loss. So every 20 months we have a loss of $60,000. And as we see, we have like two different ways to know this, with the parametric one asset and the parametric value at risk. At the end, this helps us a lot to find like the most probably scenario that we can have. And this is important because it's how we're gonna manage our risk. So in conclusion, this project was more than just calculation. It was a practical application of a modern portfolio that it connects deeply with how investment professionals make daily decisions. Just with this activity, we can see how important is using tools like Excel, how we can abstract formulas into tangible insights, and explore how the statistical relationship between two assets affects a portfolio behavior. Or five assets, that we can see that it doesn't matter if it's two assets, five assets, or more than 10 assets, because with these formulas, with this knowledge, we can learn how to manage every portfolio. Also, this was important with the second part and third part, not comparing just two assets, just with five assets, and exploring the different ways to analyze a portfolio, just like using matrix and different ways to understand it. So, this is all. Thank you.